YouTube.
What's good YouTube? I'm gonna go back to the dating today you're gonna see I Shall Speak Baby. Did you see that video?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it, but it sounds funny. When you read it, it's so funny.
No, I Shall Speak did it. He did the whole voice too.
Like I watched I Shall Speak just
Move that right.
They did
Oh, no, wait, what I do?
he said that.
Oh, I finally got rid of that shit. Hey, what up, bro? What's good, my boy?
Alright, what else you got on you?
What's good, the fiber dude? Ruben, what's cracking like it, my boy? Wait, why did this shit pop up again? Let's see if I can move it out of my way. Move it over here. How to make it go away, man? I know I made it go away right now. Oh, wait, if I press this.
Let's go play some pubs. Because me and Nature got it.
Okay, there we go. Hold up, messing with the settings a little
If
bit.
we play squad right now, I'll leave my account.
Okay, there we go. Now it's better.
He's like,
Now I got space.
he's gonna ask when we play squads.
What's happening, homie? What's good, Jesus? What's cracking like in? Just got out of the holler, that's right. Shaved the dome, yup. You already know. Saludos, Sharon de Raza, that's right. What's good with you, Sinaloa? Oh, you were in jail, my boy? Damn, homie. Portate bien, hijo. What up, homie? Easy Riders up in the night. That's right, homie. Shout out to the Easy Riders.
Oh, because we're gonna play some squads. You can't do this.
La pata de elefante. So, my guy, what's good with you, LB Studio?
How do you see that?
What's your view on the dude, Neil Zod? What hood is he from? I guess we took his statement. Thank you first for the hair. You already know, my boy. Read more about my story. You have a story? ¿Qué onda, carnal? What's good with you, Moto? What's your view on the dude, Neil Zod? What hood is he from? Well, he's from Sunny Park Locals. He's cool. He's right there. He's doing his thing. You know what I mean? He's doing him. At my Facebook. Oh, on your Facebook? You have a Facebook? I don't have social media. Oh, no, wait. We do have Instagram now. That we hardly go on, but I'm not too tech savvy. Todo firme, 100. My boy, that's right, homie, as it should be. Ha! That emoji actually looks like me. Why was I in jail? Órale. Por portarte bien, ¿no? Me imagino. What's going on, bro? What's good with you, 831? What's cracking like in? What's good, bro? What's good, Bay Area time? What's cracking like in? Go subscribe to homie's channel right there. Bay Area time's right there. That's a female channel. Homie be dropping the latest on music when it comes to the raza. You know what I mean? Which is good because not that many people cover raza. You know, a lot of people cover the usual ones. You know, the babies and the island boys and the whoever the hell else is out there. All the new people. Nobody really covers, you know, like California rappers. But when it comes to the raza, obviously you already know the mainstream ones get their thing, get their play. What's happening to the rap reactions, bro?
And then you're like, oh no,
I play it safe because now what I do is how before I was getting like I don't know, I went like a few reactions where I was getting hit like back to back with strikes, you know what I mean? So now I kind of try to see like if it's cool if I can do the reactions, that way they don't go report me. You know what I mean? Because we ain't trying to go through all of that shit no more because that's just a hassle, you know what I mean? It's better like, oh, you know, because there's some fools that don't like me reacting to their music. For what reason, I have no idea. I mean, it's like free, you know, advertisement, in my opinion, pero. You know, some fools see it some other way, you know what I mean? And it is what it is, dog, you know? Somebody's just trying to help out the raza, pero, you know, ni modos, you know?
And also, you also said no
What's good? What's good, carnal? The homie Soul714. What you drinking? Shadow King Cobra, my boy. You already know we Cobra like it. A random ass question, but how often do you shave your head? I shave my head maybe like twice a week or once a week, depending how lazy I am. Once or twice. That's cool. You were supporter Spliff earlier. Yeah, Spliff is a real one, my boy. One of the first videos that I have ever done on my channel, I was talking about him and actually gave him a shout out and stuff like that. I've been watching Spliff since he only had I think 54 subscribers, and I always thought what he did was solid because imagine, homie, the genre that hardly nobody covers, doesn't really get no views, nobody really pays attention to it, yet he was covering it. He's black, you know what I'm saying? So he was showing love, and at the time there was raza channels already on YouTube, and no pelaban. They wouldn't push the raza out there, and this homie who's black, is doing it. I thought it was some solid shit, because nobody else was doing it. You know what I mean? So I thought that was, that was really, chingon of him because he wasn't doing it for views or something. You know what I mean? Because at the time nobody was paying attention to none of that. So, I mean, and he stuck through it. I mean, it was a slow grind, but then, he slowly started, taking off. And I take my hats off to him for that.
Is it 4 o'clock?
Because that's pretty cool of him. I appreciate that. M.O.D. You already know, my boy, right here. If there's any female channel out there content, I always shout them out. I always do my part at least. To try to help. There's some channels that I was pushing. Like on here, I was promoting when they were only at 3,000. Now they have more subscribers than me. You know what I mean? And that's cool. And a lot of them told me that once I started shouting them out, that their subscribers started boosting up. Everyone else gets passes me because they get pushed by YouTube, but my channel doesn't get pushed by YouTube because it's not monetized because of all the hassles that I had to go through with people reporting my channel and just hating. You know what I mean? That YouTube doesn't push my channel for all the negative reports that I get. So all the people that go crying to YouTube for whatever reason, so that they cry. But it is what it is, dog. I don't look at them as boulders in my road. I look at them as stepping stones. You know what I mean? Hit the like button. Yeah, hit the likes. They do help on my channel. Get into the algorithm. I just a small American, German, Mexican trying to survive it. Yeah, bro, I feel you on that one, homie. Yeah, it's tough for everybody. That's what I try to tell people on my videos, that it's just not us that struggle. It's just not blacks that struggle. It's everybody down here. If you look, left to right, you see Asians, you see whites, you see Middle Eastern, you see them in the struggle with us, bro. You know what I mean? It's a battle for all of us, dog. It's the rich versus the poor, bro. That's what the game is. It's not about ethnicity right here. It's literally about rich versus poor, bro. You drink American beer. I drink anything that has alcohol, my boy. If it has alcohol, we drink it. I'm going to smoke. That bud? Oh, that's right. Well, is it bud? What are your thoughts on making a diss song? Made a diss song? About who? Well, I mean, if that's what he wants to do, I mean, a lot of rappers have made diss songs, no? Like another rapper or qué pedo? What up with your little homies tagging up civilians' personal cars? No respect. Did they? I don't know, my boy. I haven't heard of nothing like that.
Yeah, I'll buy for them. I don't need to. Yeah, but there's only a couple left. Okay.
If they did do it, they must have had a reason for it, because they just don't do shit like that for no reason. When they do stuff like that, it's because, there's a backstory to it.
You're welcome.
The Niners lost 7-0, but it's preseason. Yeah, I mean, preseason, you can't really read so much into preseason, you know what I mean? Because of all the different players that they're just throwing out there just to see, what they could do, what they're capable of. who works good together, shit like that. It's you know. I drank King Cobras a few times, gave me the runs. Did it? I actually think I like them. I think they're cool. Hey, homie, don't you think a lot of people here on YouTube, since Rasa, Southside Rasa jump in YouTube, the race work came out again and again, it's been the title for years or so. Why you think is that? The reason for that is that a lot of people just don't like homies. You know what I mean? We're the most hated group, bro. They just don't like us. You know what I mean? They don't like us, and we've been painted a certain way by society, by documentaries, putting out false information about homies. You know what I mean? You see it, the news covers it like that. National Geographic, the Discovery Channel, Gangland. They painted the homies a certain way. You know what I mean? Like disrespectful, racist, this and that, when it was never nothing like that. You know what I mean? But of course, they're gonna want to paint their own image. You know what I mean? That's their job, to make us look like the bad guys. You know what I mean? But it's nothing like that, and that's the reason why problems don't get fixed. You know what I mean? Because people don't understand. They tell these mortals this. These guys are this, and that. But stupidly, these guys see it with themselves. You know what I mean? They see with their own eyes, and they're out there viewing it, and they see that there's the opposite of what these people are saying. So now, if what you're saying, if you're telling this kid, a certain thing now, but he's going and he's seeing something different, now who looks like the liar? You get what I mean? And that's what I try to say. It's never good to lie, bro, because when you lie, then you look like the bad one. You never get anything good out of lying. There's a way to talk to these kids and let them know about the streets without them, getting encouraged to go out there and become a part of the streets. You know what I mean? I know this because my two older kids are already teenagers, and and I told them about the streets, and they're far from gang members. You know what I mean? But see, there's a proper way of explaining stuff to individuals, but society thinks that no, that there's nothing good out of talking about this, or nothing this and that. Like, bro, I have seen the results myself, but people are gonna look at me and be like, yeah, this was just fucking lying. He's another one of these lying ass Southsiders. Any advice to the new YouTuber channels launching soon? Yes, that understand that this is just the internet. As long as you know who you are, as long as you know what you're about, then no matter what people say out there, should put you down, or you should get offended or be rattled by it. You know what I mean? As long as the truth is on your side, bro, no matter what people say, no matter how many people jump on board, no matter how many people are saying it, if they're lying, my boy, then how are they gonna win? Lies can never beat the truth, homie. You know what I'm saying? If you know you're not this, and that, like people are saying in the comments, then why should it faze you, bro? I get told stuff, on a day-to-day. I don't care, bro. Like, I know who I am. My homies know who I am. I know what's real and I know what's not. So whatever people say is irrelevant, bro. It's like, how is that gonna affect me? It's not. You know what I mean? But a lot of people have to understand that it is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Not that if it might happen. No. It's gonna happen. That's just the way the internet is. You have a lot of people that just like to try to put people down because it makes them feel better about themselves and their situation. You know what I mean? That's just the way. The internet is full of a lot of people that have different personalities, and a lot of people that have a lot of problems and disorders themselves. You know what I mean? And when you put a bunch of different personalities in one place, you're gonna get chaos. You know what I mean? Because different points of views and opinions and etc. Understand that on here, these are just people's opinions. Like, everything I say is just my opinion. So for people to get mad and be talking shit, like, bro, why are you getting so bent out of shape, bro? These are just my opinions. That's it. I'm entitled to see it and feel however I choose, just like you are. You know what I mean? So it's like nothing to get mad at. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm right. You know what I mean? All I'm saying is that that's just how I see it. That's. But people act like if I'm telling them that they're wrong and what I'm saying is right. It's just my opinions, how I view it, how I view the matters.
About enjoying moments, you shouldn't say thank you.
Nah, I'm gonna have to leave. He's in storm.
But yeah, so if I would tell anybody that's starting a channel, just don't let what people say on the internet get to them, because you know what I mean. You see a lot of people that spend a lot of time, just arguing on the internet constantly, that they forgot what they wanted to do with their channel or their message and stuff like that. It just became, just shit talking back and forth. I feel people don't want Raza to shine at all. You know what it is, bro? I'm gonna tell you what it is. Raza is willing to support, right? I think where people have the problem and the issue with is that the faces that are pushing the Raza movement, like let's say American Cholo, let's say Tony A, or Hood Stocks, or somebody that has a big platform that's doing stuff right, and is putting the Raza out there and stuff like that. The reason why people hate and talk shit and stuff like that is because they don't want the fact that these guys were gang members or are gang members or ex-gang members. That's what people have a problem with, that they just don't like gang members. They feel like they have some hidden agenda, or they're bullshitting, or they haven't really changed and they're doing it for this and for that. But for whatever reason, because they have a negative perspective of a gang member. So the fact that these individuals are the faces and forefront, people have an issue with that, of why they should support them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because we just don't want to get involved in the mess or feel like they're supporting somebody who's a part of the problem in some way, when it's like these people have changed as a reason why they're putting the message that they're putting out there. You know what I mean? Like, people make mistakes in this world. You know what I mean? Everyone makes mistakes. Imagine if we were to hold somebody for the mistakes that they make in this world, and don't let them, let them change, or at least let them show that they're a better person now, and let's just hold them to these mistakes, then everybody would be fucked, if they were to hold us to our mistake, because we have all made them. You know what I mean? You live and learn, bro. You know what I mean? Because when you don't forgive or give somebody a second chance, then you're no better than them. You're bitter and ignorant, just like these so-called individuals that you claim.
I can't believe it. That back. That's kind of rare. What?
Good afternoon, MC Shadow. What's the name of your song that you use in your intro? The one that says La Vida Loca. No, that's the name of the song. La Vida Loca. That's the name of the rola. Oh, malt liquor beer. Yeah, I like it. I like malt liquor. Mickey, King Cobra. Gold 45 is okay. Hurricanes are pretty good.
Just pick it up.
He made a diss track about Savage Studio after he got killed. Did he? Well, I guess. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do something like that, but I mean, if that's what he wants to do, I wouldn't do something like that, but that's just me, But if that's how he, wants to conduct himself, that's it. You know what I mean? Whatever floats your boat. Yeah, but I wouldn't do that because he already passed away, so what would be the point?
Oh, there's people.
Sup, man? Good evening to all. That's right, Mando. Hopefully someone gets discovered on
Oh, they were good. I see it. Oh,
my
oh, he's
channel.
doing back up.
We have so much talent in California. Yes, we do, bro. Yes, we do. That is fact. We do. You know what I mean? There's a lot of talented, skillful artists, in this game. I know people like to give the young generation a hard time because of the way they dress or whatever the hell. But nah, man, there's people out there that have talent. And yes, of course, in the mix of the talent, you're gonna have people that shouldn't be rapping at all. But it is what it is. Is your hood gentrified? They started gentrifying it. They knocked down the old, apartments. They build these new, expensive, apartment. And I mean, when I mean expensive, I mean expensive, bro. I mean, the rent is like 3 times what it was. You know what I mean? So it's expensive, you know, and they're all modern and stuff like that. And then what happened was that the homies ended up moving to these new apartments, and now they're all tagged up, and now they're looking just as ghetto. So because these people think that these people can't afford the rent, you know, because they live with their mom. Like, no, you idiots. They could afford the rent. That's why they're living there. That's why their shit's all tagged up. It's not gonna work. They gentrified a lot of areas, and guess what? You pass by those areas, and guess what? Those gangs are still there, bro. That's not gonna fix the problem. You know what I mean? And that's something that even, you know, these, you know, senators, these governors, these mayors, they don't understand that. You know what I mean? They're not fixing the problem. You know what I mean? They never fix the problem. If anything, what they try to do is they try to send the problem somewhere else, right? You gentrify one area, so what happens is that all those people just end up going to a different area, and then that shit ends up going to shit. So that's basically just what happens. You just, you know, you move the trash from one place to another, but it's not getting rid of the trash.
Let's go. Go.
Raiders 4-0. But Raiders always start like that in the preseason. If you notice, the preseason, Raiders preseason's always chingón, and as soon as the season starts, valen pa pura madre. Have you heard of BGS from Upstate? He's a rapper? Shout out. What about Swifty Blues? Swifty Blues got talent. In the beginning, I was not too fond of his music. You know what I mean? Because I felt like he hadn't found his himself yet in the game. I felt like he was mimicking too many of the mainstream rappers in the beginning. But as time started going, you know what I mean? And like that's how it always, you know, works. You know, you perfect your craft and you kind of start building your own stilo of rapping, you know? And now I feel like he discovered who he is and how he wants to spit it. And now he's comfortable in himself. And that's why I think now his music has gotten way, way better. You know what I mean? I feel like homie's legit when it comes to rapping. I mean, he's always been musically inclined and everything. He was just trying to discover what works and what doesn't, you know? And I feel like now he has a pretty good idea of what that is. He's making good progress in the rap world. Cool. Yeah, he's doing his thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, he's not just, you know, just waiting around. You know what I mean? Going against Norte. Who's going against Norte? I don't think so. He's trying to make money, feed his family. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's trying to feed his family. ¿Qué pasa, raza? Tus. Slam the beer. Slam the beer? Like chug it? No. We like to enjoy our beer.
No, leave.
I feel people should work together in the rap world to better the community. Yeah, I agree. Imagine these talented individuals working with each other without having to worry about the bullshit. It will be dropping fuego. Because I could see several individuals, like just overall hearing their raps and the type of patterning of beat that they use, you know, from you know, templates to, you know, bass to all of that. I see a few artists that would work perfect, you know, in rolas, you know, because their styles are similar but different at the same time. It will make for some chingon shit. We got 30 heads in here. Serio, raza, where's the homie? Oh, Hormiga, he's probably working. American Cholo is cool. Yeah, American Cholo's cool, man. He's doing his thing, you know what I mean? Like, can't knock him for feeling how he feels and wanting to elevate his people, you know what I mean? That's what his channel's been about since the beginning, bro. You know what I mean? If you look at it, people can't say that he's like changed or whatever his message. His channel's been the same since he first started. And, you know, he slowly, you know, grind to the top. Raza supporting Zod.
Can I join you?
People will support Zod. People can support whoever they want. You know what I mean? People are gonna support whoever they want. For people to come on here and to try to make people not support somebody or tell people who they should like or who they should watch is it's not gonna work. People will watch and support whoever the hell they want. You know what I mean? Like no one has the right to tell somebody who they could and can't support. You know, we all have rights here. You know what I mean? And anyone's entitled to support and like whoever they choose. You know what I mean? That's why I never come on here and tell people, don't watch this channel, don't support that. People could support and watch whoever the hell they want. You know what I mean? And people are gonna support and watch whoever they want. You know, it's the way society is. You know what I mean? Like we can't be mad at that. You know, it is what it is. Like me, there's certain channels I don't mess with. You know what I mean? I don't mess with at all. I don't watch them out of curiosity or secrecy. If I don't mess with channels, I don't watch them at all, bro. You know, and that's just how I get down. And I don't tell people or the homie, hey, don't watch that fool. Hey, don't support. For what, dog? As long as I'm not watching, that's all that counts. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like for me to try to round up people to not support, people can support whoever the hell they want. You know, it's like when Tyga's song came out, I wasn't telling people like, you know, and I disagree with that video and the song and everything, but I wasn't telling people, hey, don't go hear that song, don't go so. Bro, people could do whatever they want, bro. Because that's just the way the world is. You want the shadow, good to see you making it do what it do as always. Hey, gracias, Born Supreme. The problem with the website is the only representation is Southsiders. See what I mean? Yeah. Well, it's because nobody else is willing to step up to the plate, bro. Nobody's, you know, nobody wants to. You know what I mean? Because they just, you know, are not built for it, or they're just shy or nervous, or maybe just don't have the confidence. I don't know what it is. Zod is the voice of Los Angeles. Well, Zod is the voice of himself. So is everyone else. In this world and in YouTube, people could only speak for themselves. There's no such thing as someone that is the voice of the raza or the voice of this or that. People are the voice of themselves. That's all they could be. You know what I mean? Now, if people want to see them as this is the representative of the raza or whatever, then that's their option to see it that way. You know, if that's what they choose to, how they choose to see him, then by all means. And if people choose to see him like, nah, he's not the voice of the raza, F that fool, then they're entitled to see it like that too. You know what I mean? People are however you choose to see them. You know what I mean? But to say that they're actually, you know, that's what they actually are, it's like, no. Like, what? When did we take votes?
I remember that time.
Like, when did that happen? The industry wants to blackball any food that are or affiliated with. So, no. They don't like homies. Because people have a certain perspective of homies, you know what I mean? And then once homies started coming on here, it started breaking that narrative, and a lot of people were mad, and a lot of people don't like it. That's why a lot of people try to get these people to try to get them out of character, you know what I mean? By, egging them on or boosting their confidence or their egos, by asking certain questions to make other people look bad, for them to kind of like take shots at each other. And they don't recognize it. They're not able to see it. I'm able to see by the way these people ask the questions and, and what they're trying to do, you know what I mean? Of how they ask, because they could, try to like boost them up, to get them to talk about certain subjects and to kind of throw shades at other subjects, the way that they ask the questions. And most people, they get caught in the web and they're not able to see that, so they fall right into it. I pay attention to all of that. It helps for my courses, you know what I mean, to get, interaction between, people and the manipulation that goes on and everything for human behavior. I mean, it's a perfect tool, you know what I mean? Of just watching people interact with each other and how they respond to certain questions because of how it's asked and everything like that.
Bro, what is Adrian doing? Oh, sorry, I thought I was like, dude, I have zero max. Tell me if he's coming.
Or like when they try to say like, oh, which channel's better, that channel or that channel, Well, that's why I like your channel better than these other channels because you at least keep it, like manipulating it for these guys to feed into it. Like, oh yeah, well, it's just because these channels are wicked. Well, and they don't see it. They don't see what these people are doing. You know what I mean? And it's like, bro, you really think that that person's really on your side because how he's telling you, but in reality, he's really manipulating you to make yourself look bad. I see it time after time after time. People try to do it to me all the time on when I do lives, and it's like, you really think that I don't see what you're trying to do, huh?
He's winning.
I sometimes play along. I like playing the games. That's why I don't really get that many trolls for my lives. I think that they realize, because it piques my curiosity of why they behave that way. It intrigues me to engage in conversations to try to get an idea of why they think the way they think and choose to interact like that and stuff like that. Because everyone has agendas on here. You know what I mean? There's even individuals that have agendas to try to make individuals look better. Cheers. Hey, likewise. I like people making money. That's right, homie, as it should be. I'm more of just trying to get people to, realize that we're all the same and there's really, no difference between us, and, how it is never good to judge individuals. And if you do want to help somebody out to better themselves or, help scenarios out, how to go about it, because a lot of people think that they're helping the problem, by them coming on here and talking all the shit that they talk and insulting the individuals that somehow they're a part of the solution when they're a part of the problem. Anytime you want to give somebody advice or want to talk to them for them to change their, habits or mistakes or anything like that, the last thing you want to do is come and insult the person, like, you're fucking stupid. The choice that you made is a fucking low life, lame. Like, when have you ever heard, somebody that wants to give somebody advice or words of encouragement or something like that to better themselves by them coming and talking shit? If somebody were to try to come and give you advice, but they come to you and telling you you're fucking lame, low life, whatever, would you take their advice? No, you're gonna be like, fuck you. You know what I mean? So it's like, how are people thinking that they're a part of the solution by coming on here and saying all the shit that they say? Like, how are you helping the problem? You're not. You know what I mean? You're aggravating them. You're getting them mad, and then you're adding fuel to the fire and thinking that you're helping for somehow, maybe because you're not a part of a gang that somehow that justifies it. Like,
No, they
you know
have
what I mean? It's like some guys go rob a bank and they just leave their gun right there. You load it up for them and you leave it right there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you weren't part of the group that was robbing the bank and you didn't hold the gun and everything, but you loaded it up for them. So you might as well have been robbing the bank with them. You were a part of the problem as well. You would have never loaded it. The shit wouldn't happen. So it's like, but. Like, well, no, in reality, I didn't come with them, and that wasn't my weapon. And like, oh, okay. People will never want to look at the stuff that they do. The lenses of Jesus. Well, I'm not religious, but yeah, I mean, it's great philosophy. You got to let people try to right their wrongs. Yes, exactly. 100 right there. You know what I mean? 100. So what's the problem with that? I don't see Rasa complaining about Bloods and Crips. Some Hoods even beef it with them, claiming it's on their songs. Yo, buenas noches. Sada is the voice of Los Angeles, right? He's the voice of himself. There is no such thing as the voice of Los Angeles. Where can I find the full song? It's Vietnam. I have the full song. Well, we're working on a CD to come out. You know what I mean? So it's in the works. You're making my point. Rap game is about talent, and talent. The banging is gonna keep you. Yeah, rapping is about talent. You know what I mean? But here's the thing that I say. it's people being able to relate to your music that makes your music, hit and blow up, makes it a part of time. Example, there's certain rappers that have made it and were successful. You know what I mean? You had Cash Money, you had Chameleonaires and Paul Walls and Mike Jones, right? They did their thing, they made some money, and then their music fizzled out. At the time they were, oh, Mike Jones, who? And Chameleonaire. At the time they were doing thing, and then everyone just forgot about their music. And then now if you put on a Mike Jones CD, people are like, oh man, what the hell was I thinking? You know what I mean? But then you get an Eazy-E CD, you put it in there, a Tupac or Ice Cube from back then. People hear that shit and they're like, oh hell yes, my jam. And you even have these new generations like bobbing their head to it, like, damn, that shit sounds dope. Like, yes, right. And that's just fucking music from woo back then, you know what I mean? But the reason why, people dig it now and it's still, whatever, because people are able to relate to it, you know what I mean? Easy and Tupac, saying, drinking out of a brown paper bag, rolling in my bucket. That's what Easy and Tupac and them were saying in their music. So people could relate to that. People over here now rapping about throwing money in the air and laughing to the bank and this and that. People can't relate to that, bro. People can't relate to that shit, homie. So it doesn't hit the same, because if you relate to something, because it's talking about the area where you're from and how it is and stuff like that, people relate to it and it builds more of a connection with you. You know what I mean? Compared to something that, well, I don't even know how it is to feel like to be in a yacht and stuff like that. So I haven't, you know what I mean? So there's no connection there. So that's why those songs don't end up sticking and people just forget about them. And it's like, people were only digging them at the time because it was trending, is what everybody else was hearing. And of course, you already know people want to be a part of everybody else. You want to know and talk about what everyone else knows and talks about. You don't want to feel like you're left out. Because, it's human behavior. Naturally, we want to be a part of something. Naturally, we don't want to feel like we're being left behind. That's why, naturally, as human beings, we want to feel like we belong to something, whether a book club, a car club, fucking rap this or that. But we want to feel like we're a part of something. You know what I mean? And don't give me that shit that people say that, nah, I don't need nobody. I'm better off alone or whatever. That's why you have those people that have nobody and nothing like that commit suicide. You know what I mean? You see them, they're all depressed and stuff like that, or they're always angry. Like, I don't need nobody. For all I need is myself. Fuck everybody. That rage right there already shows that you do care. That rage already shows that, no, it does bother you that you have nobody. That's why you're saying it in the manner that you're saying it, because it hurts you. You know what I mean? Because that's anger. That's the only way you could channel that kind of emotion. You can't channel that emotion because you don't care. It's not the same. So therefore, you do care. You know what I mean? And not just us as humans, but even any other creature. If you see, like lone wolves or lions or hyenas, whatever, if they're by themselves without their pack, they die, bro. They don't last as long as, when they're with their herd. And it's like, why? If you're by yourself, they kill an animal, you feel they have more food, and now they don't got to share with nobody. They should last longer. But no, they die. You know what I mean? And it's bad for the brain. It's bad for your health. You know what I mean? Because of the amount of stress that you're putting in on your heart and your brain, you know what I mean? And brain cells start to, die. And you know what I mean? You pretty much just start killing yourself slowly. And those are facts, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you can go look up the research, you know what I mean? Because you're putting a lot of stress on your heart and your brain, even though you think you're not.
I don't know why.
That's why it's not healthy. So people want to feel like a sense of belonging. That's why these individuals choose to be from gangs in the streets, bro. Because they don't feel like they had that bond at home, that they had to go look for it somewhere else. Because they needed to be a part of something just like everybody else needs to be a part of something. Whether you have your group of friends that likes to game it or go to the gym or play ball or whatever, but you have your group of individuals that you guys could share your common interests. You know what I mean? People need that, bro. The companionship. Humans are very emotional creatures, bro. People don't got their emotions on check. They just think that they do. Zon never carried to try to flex with Savage when he was alive. Now that he's dead, Savage is his number one enemy. Well, I don't know. That's him. You know what I mean? Like, I can't say why people do or what they do or why they do it. You know what I mean? Those are questions people would have to ask him. You know what I mean? I personally can't speak on why he chose to or whatever, because I don't know why. Only he knows. So, you know what I mean? Those are questions I think that need to be asked, to Zod, because I can't answer for him,
I know how he seems out of energy. What would you mean I bring
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Southsiders are, humans and glass of too, but people always talk about unity and the join and change and everything, and it's like, okay, you know that you have to, the cholos are a part of the raza and the change. No, they can't be a part. That's kind of like when you have some Southsiders and they're like, nah, they're norteños though. They're not a part of the, like, you can't pick and choose, bro. Same with regular individuals. Now you talk about unity, brown pride, raza, and everything. You have to include these cholos in there too, whether you like it or not, bro. Because you don't get to pick and choose. It doesn't work like that. Because, like I said, they have some hatred and anger. Like I said, and out of hatred and anger and bashing a group of individuals, you never get nothing out of that, bro. You should already know that, especially since you want to critique these individuals, because then it becomes like it's regular day civilians versus cholos, which is a group of individuals versus another group of individuals. Therefore, you guys just became your own little gang with your own little rules, with your own little views on how, these guys are the enemies and we must talk shit to them and F them and never get along with them and never see sight. Just like how these guys do it with their enemies. Yeah, you're just like them, bro. No different. You just think that you're different because you don't have a name for it or whatever. But in a sense, that's what's going on. It's kind of like when you have these senators, whatever, they're talking about these gang members are stupid, they're fighting over dumb shit, but you can't get Democrats and Republicans in the same room without them getting along. They're over here talking shit to each other, wanting to fight, and they can't get along. They can't agree, just like these individuals. And it doesn't help that one side's red and one side is blue. You can't get a Democrat to agree with a Republican and vice versa. And the ones that do, the rest of their party sees them as traitors. Kind of like if you were a gang member and you sided with the enemies, they would be seeing you as the exact same dynamics. You know what I mean? You're saying we fighting over dumb shit and to put our differences aside. Take your own advice. Why can't you guys put your differences aside, come to the table and talk like grown adults, like how you're telling these individuals? Stop fighting over petty shit. Exactly. Take your own advice. Because you can't get Democrats and Republicans to all they do is spend talking shit to each other. You see when the rallies happen, you see both groups are clashing and colliding, and it's like, what the fuck is going on right here? But we're fighting for stupid shit. But we're the ones that can't get along. Ta madre. It's crazy, huh? People only want to see the flaws in others. They don't want to point out the flaws in themselves, knowing damn well that they're doing the very exact same shit. Because people are getting hurt. When you see these rallies getting together, people are getting hurt and shit like that. People could potentially lose their life in any altercation where you throw a fist. You know what I mean? Potentially when you throw a fist, anybody could die in that. And people have died, you know what I mean? Because of these rallies and protests and shit like that. Those are politics.
Bro, that's messed up.
My boy. Gang members, do something. Like they say that we're destroying communities and stuff like that, right? Even though in reality, all they're really doing is just killing other gang members, the same people that people don't want around and wish they were dead anyway. So I don't know why they're even mad. Anywho, when these people have an issue, they take it out on each other. When these people have an issue, in 5 hours, they burn half the city down. You see all these stores got broken into and half the city's in flames. I never seen gangs, run amok like that where they're burning down the city and in 5 hours, half the city is burned to the ground. But that's what happens with these individuals, and it's okay right there. Nobody points it out on there. Like, oh no, right there is fine. It's fine if they do it. Like, oh, fuck democracy, I guess, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, let's go get it.
Yeah, I guess it's violence. I guess people could use violence. It just depends when they're able to use it,
Yo, see me?
or however they see, fit. They pick and choose. It's funny, huh?
Mommy, no?
Big Zod is one of the main guys for the Raza. Yeah, well, yeah, that's how you want to see it. Then, yeah.
Yeah, here?
I don't see why people have an issue with him. And if you do,
Yeah,
then
49.
that's your personal matters. You know what I mean?
Is that good enough?
I don't understand, the beat behind it to try to act like I do, If people dislike him, they dislike him. People like him, they like him.
Bro, even took it.
I'm not here to talk about, other people and,
Bro, you took it.
and insult them and stuff like that. The industry don't want them to see a super successful Hispanic Chicano artist. Yeah, that's true. Because then it paints them like, oh my God, you potentially, if you choose this life, you could be successful, and God forbid that. Like, oh God.
Bro, you actually look like he's about to
Yes, because now they painted the perfect road of these guys. Well, first, what I need to do is go join a gang, and then once I'm in a gang, learn how to rap, and then once I learn how to rap, push myself out there and be successful, just like him, and I'll make it. Yes, because it'll work out just exactly like that for you, just like them. They really need to give us more credit. They really think we're that stupid, huh? Face it, and I tell this to individuals all the time. No gang member has ever joined a gang because they seen the movie Blood In, Blood Out, or American Me, or because they seen a video on YouTube. They're like, hey, that was a pretty cool video. I think I'm gonna go join the street gang. No homie has ever joined a gang for that reason. That is the most stupidest reason I have ever heard in my life. Like, you want to join the gang because you seen American Me? Bro, you know what homies will do to you? You came to the hood with that shit. People really think that vatos are just standing out there waiting to get in whoever comes and be like, hey, I want to be a part of your neighborhood. And they're like, all right, come here. That's not how it works. What the hell is wrong with you? You know what I mean? That's not how it works. People think that if somebody sees something that they'll go and join it or something like that. Like, that's not how this lifestyle works. It's not how this happens. Respect to everyone in the chat. People stop all that last because
Dude, there's Grace?
is no different than T.I. Stoppers. Hey, shout out to Santa Cruz. Shout out to Santa Cruz 831. I thought Zada is a shot caller of the double S.
Oh, is it all to me?
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then I guess so, my boy. I heard Big Zada, he's putting a lot of work in us.
Yeah, he did.
I think you guys are on the wrong channel. I know what you guys are trying to do. It's not going to work, bro. But nice try. I like how the people in the chat don't bite into it too. I appreciate that. Some of my boy just kicking back. That's right, my boy. Johnny Garcia. Shout out to Eastside 13 and all the homies holding it down. Woo woo. I'm actually gonna be dropping a video on you homies. If not later on today, tomorrow. What else, sneaks? If you go anywhere outside of Cali, half of these rappers get no play. I know this. You need a hit. I can only get local explore. Well, that's not really true because you get a lot of people that support Chicano rap in other places like Seattle, Oklahoma, Texas, Arizona, and places like that. Shit, I have people that hear my music and they're in places that is like, I don't even know where the hell that's at. And it's like, oh, like, okay, it's a trip like that. People are just gonna like what they like, you know? Like, I don't even know why people would vote my shit, but hey, there's some people that like it, I guess, you know? But That's what I'm saying. People are just gonna like what they like. Like you may not like it, and you may see it a certain way, but other people might see it differently. You know what I mean? And as long as there's people out there that like it, then I don't see why people should stop or whatever. You know what I mean? And at the same time, not everybody was trying to blow up like that, or not everybody, like me, I rap just for, as a hobby. I do it for fun. You know what I mean? Not to, blow up or, become, some people just don't like all that attention, and there's some people that are just doing it for the attention. It just depends on the individuals. So Argo Revenue. You guys should focus on the old school LA underground like Project Blonde. Makes chulo. That in itself has its own fan base. You know what I mean? That some people just are not familiar with it, but it has its fan base. Gunner already exposed that.
Dude, I'm getting my new bag.
I like the squeaky accent you have. Gracias, my boy. Appreciate it. Me too. I like sounding like Alvin and Mickey Mouse and all of them.
I got my music back. I got the old dude that I had before.
When my cousin goes to Los Angeles, do he have to check in with her? I don't know if that's what he feels like he has to do. It's up to him, whatever he wants to do. Remember, in this world, people could choose to do whatever they want. It's your choice.
Let's go to shop.
It'd be like. It's weird how no other Sureño from LA don't care about norteños, but some reasons hates them. There's just some people that feel a certain way for their reasons. Like I said, only they themselves would know why they feel the way that they feel. And that's just it. Just like there's some homies that just dislike blacks or dislike Asians, or some folks that even dislike Middle Eastern. It's like, my boy, like, where did you get all this hatred towards Middle Eastern? Like, when the fuck do you see them around? But like I said, for whatever reason, people feel like how they feel. Like I said, I can't answer those questions. You know what I mean? I can't tell, I can't come on here and act like, oh, yeah, it's because of this. I don't know, for that, you would have to ask that individual. We would have to get, into that individual, to find out, where these problems, stem from. But just like off like that, I can't, you know what I mean?
I don't know how they want to.
Ese got the Speedy Gonzalez voice. Yes, gracias. I actually like Speedy Gonzalez.
Dang, so you're not.
I heard they call you Sneaks. This true, homie? No, they call me Shadow, bro. That's my only nickname and the only nickname I have ever had. I never went by nothing else. You can ask about me, bro. It's not that hard. It really is that easy.
So you're getting on?
You kind of look like Zada. I've been told that. I actually have been told that. I'm like, damn, Mato's a good-looking fool then.
I need to get my discipline right. If I buy the people,
Like I said, it's just the internet. It's not that serious, I don't know why people get bent out of shape, to be honest with you guys. Why people be like, what? Say that shit to my face, homie. Pull up right now, homie. I'll meet you anywhere. Where'd you at? McDonald's? Meet you up right now. Oh, why'd you think I'm playing? Oh, fool, let me get the gas. Oh, hell no, fool, y'all been. I right there be watching it, I'm just like, I don't know why this individual feels the need to do all of this. Like, what happened, bro, that makes you feel like you have to be, on the jump all the time? Like, what's going on? Are you not comfortable in your own skin? Like, if you know what you're about, and the people you actually hang out know what you're about, then why does the opinion of these people matter to you so much? Or why are you trying to convince them otherwise or prove them otherwise? Like, why? There's a reason there, it's a sense of insecurity, you know what I mean? Like, maybe deep down inside they think that they're weak. Maybe deep down inside they feel, they could still be questioned for some reason. Like I don't care about what people say on here, whatever. Like, if homies catch wind of it, they already know that it's bull. You know what I mean? So I never have nothing to worry about because people know, what people are made out of. You're only gonna worry if you're nervous for your identity to get exposed or whatever. Like you have to put up this image because you don't want them to find out the real truth about you. You know what I mean? But like when you're what you're about, it's like you don't have shit to worry about. Fools already know what you're made out of. These people could not believe it. It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. Like in the actual streets and in the actual game. So it's like, who cares? Like that's where it actually counts. So what does this matter? This is just the internet, bro. People can literally say whatever the hell they want on here. Don't make it facts. Don't make it true. My point, you don't say the rap industry doesn't want Mexicans make a hit like Fat Joe. No, that's not what it is because hits have been made and they haven't been pushed like other rolas. You want to know how I know this? Because these hits have been done with artists like Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, Royce the 5'9", with artists like that, and they still were not pushed like how if it would have been any other artist, like let's say The Baby or Kodak Black or somebody like that, because these individuals have rap songs with these guys that are bangers, but they still don't mess with their shit. They don't get no radio play and stuff like that.
I'm getting 500. I'm tomorrow.
Okay, and the music is not about the streets and stuff like that. The music's actually, some clubbing stuff and cruising stuff. It doesn't even mention nothing about the streets. Yeah, it's not pushed and it's not promoted like that. That's how you know that it's bullcrap what they, you know what I mean? It's not that they don't have any talent or any music like that and stuff like that. No, it's not promoted the same, you know what I mean? And yes, they do have music with these, high level artists, But people, since they don't give it a chance, they're not aware that these songs actually exist. I have reacted to them on my channel, and people be like, "Damn, homie, that song is banging. Fool, when did it come out?" It's like, "Fool, that shit came out like 10 years ago, bro." It's like, "Damn, I never heard of it." Of course, I know, bro, I know. Because at the end of the day, there's still these cholos, dog, and they don't want no cholos on there. You know what I mean? Cholos are bad. That's a pelon haircut. Gutter was the first one to unite the raza. Was he? Feed me. You should put baby oil. Turtle wax, bro. I think turtle wax will work better, no? The homie have to be bald, or can they still rock their slick hair? The homies could have their hair however they choose, bro. Their homies could have mohawks, fades, tapers, Edgars, ponytails, cornrows, afros, fucking smiley face with stars and everything. Homies could have their hair however the fuck they want. You know what I mean? If the homie puts in work for the neighborhood, if the homie is always ready, when it's time to go, and if the homie's always representing, then how the fuck he dresses and how the fuck his hair is and how he looks has nothing to do with nothing, bro. It's irrelevant, homie. It's irrelevant. He could dress and look however the hell he wants. He could be in a fucking one suit pajama set. What good is having a fool all banged out, tattooed, and fools come and they, "Hey, where you from?" No, where I don't want any problems. I don't bang. You know what I mean? Compared to some fool with a tight pink shirt and some skinny jeans or whatever. But when these fools come, this fool takes out the gat and starts lighting the car up. Who would you rather have on your team? It's not about looks, bro. This lifestyle is not about looks. Looks get you nothing, bro. You know what I mean? A lot of fools, they try to play that card, you know what I mean? They try to look tough and, walk around. Well, these people are not, impressed with how you look, homie. It's what you've done. What have you done? I see you. Yeah, you all G'd up. Ben Davis, Cortez. Yeah, I see you. But what have you done, homie? You know what I mean? You're making fun of that fool right there, with tight pants and everything like that. But that homie already he be nonstop letting that burner, clap. But what you do, dog? Yeah, you G'd up and critiquing him, but homie's put in 15 times more the work than you ever put. So looks like you're relevant, homie. All that Orale and Sean Liz. Like, bro, who the hell are you trying to kid, homie? Seriously, you trying to kid? You ain't fooling nobody. People have been in the streets, whatever. They're aware of the games. See what it is? People watch too many movies. Lewis from Hateful. What's Hateful? M.O.D. I'm gonna earn $1 million and I'm gonna give you 50,000. Nah, my boy, give it to like schools so they could build after school programs and like in elementaries and middle schools. Like I'm good, bro. Like money's not my goal. Money won't make me happy. Money's not, like if people are gonna give money to somebody, like give it to somebody who actually needs it and could do something positive, to better lift our community. I'm humble, bro. I got my kids, I got my wife. I'm breathing. You know what I mean? So, but there's other people that don't have it. Don't have. I mean, I don't have much. I'm not saying that I have a lot of stuff, but there's people that have less than me. You know what I mean? And I think stuff like that will better help them than help me. You know what I mean? So if you do ever get a million, you know, help build some of these programs to help these individuals. You know what I mean? Keep their mind off of the drama that they have going on in their personal lives. Yes. What is it? Hey, Shadow, question. How is it that Southsiders letting the backpack boys that are norteños function and like because they're just working, bro. They're getting their paper, homie. Look, people have to understand one thing about homeboys. We have rules. We have morals. As hard as that it is for people to believe, people are not allowed to disrespect people in their work, when they're with their family, when this and that. Now I know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get people that come on here and are gonna say, bullshit, I seen it happen and everything. Hold up, hold your horses. There's rules. But as you know, as well as I know, not everyone follows the rules. And some people do break the rules. Now there's consequences for that. And they get taken care of when they get taken care of. But people that, let's say, you don't bang and you with your family and these guys who ran up on you and caused a scene, whatever. Now you're like, these fools are disrespectful and everything. And now this guy goes back to his hood and it's like, hey fool, you ran up with his family, was there, you fucked up, and they take care of him, give him a hot one. But you're not gonna know that the neighborhood went and did all of that. You're not gonna know how the neighborhood cleaned up the problem and everything like that. You have no knowledge on that. So you just think that it went unpunished and that this is the way they behave and stuff like that because you're not aware of what happens behind the scenes. You know what I mean? But people are just not allowed to do whatever the fuck they want. As hard as that it is for people to believe, like, you're bullshitting, fool, you lying. Bro, I'm not here to convince you. Bro, that's not my job, bro. Those are the facts. Take it or leave them. Dog, it's irrelevant to me, bro. It's not gonna change the program. It is what it is. Like I know what it is, bro. Like you can believe it or not, bro. Like I'm not here to convince you or to make you see, or for you to like these guys or make them see them in a different light or whatever. Nah, bro. They asked me a question. I told them honestly what it is, and take it or leave it, bro. Like I'm not here to fucking make these guys look like saints and shit like that, bro. Coachella is a killer gangster. Man. Solo, más loco, el Coco East Side Star Gang, Super Gang Star 501, Levi's Jordans, Modelo Time. They still kick up to. They still kicking it to the suit. Then that's what they're doing, my boy. You know what I mean? like I said, it's not affecting the program or what's happening. So if that's how people are choosing to see it, like, these fools are there, then that's how they choose to see it, bro. Like, but the ones that are really right here, then they know what it is. And like I said, your opinion and your view could be seen this way, but it doesn't change what's actually happening out there or how it actually is out there. So it's irrelevant, you know? Is the face of us. That's right, my boy. You should be his promoter, homie. You're doing a pretty good honey. Backpack boys are the only missing with what I know in Gabas. Are they? Well, I mean, it's their business. They could choose to run it however they choose. Chief Keef, Gucci Mane. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Rage Against the Machines is a great rock band. Yes, they are, bro. Yes, they are. I agree with you. So is System of a Down. Slipknot, and all of them. You like Slayer too? There's homies from the neighborhood that are rockers. I have some homies from my neighborhood that are rockers. I mean, full-blown rockers. Misfit shirts, long hair, ride skateboards, and play the guitar, and they're from the hood. No lie, for real. 100%. Like I said, homies come in different ways. There's homies that are skaters, rockers, paisas. They come in all different, people find it hard to believe, like, how is that possible? Because they don't understand the dynamics behind it. You know what I mean? Because if you look at rockers and you look at like gang members, they have a lot of similarities. You know what I mean? In how they overall view life or their situations with their families and stuff like that. They're not understood and stuff like that. So you can see where the connections could happen. But yeah, you see a lot of homies. Trust me, if you talk to homies, they'll tell you that there's homies that hear rock and like that shit and that even play the instruments and stuff like that. Because it's not just from my hood that I have met them. I have met them from several other hoods. Homies play video games too and read comics and stuff. There's homies that watch manga and stuff. Yeah, bro, like, what the fuck is... They're not fucking aliens. Like, they have lives outside the streets, bro. Like, they're not these fucking creatures that people make it seem like. They're fucking humans just like anybody else, bro. And they're gonna have interests just like anybody else has them. You should push your belief. You shouldn't push your beliefs on others. I don't. I just speak my opinions. Now, if people are choosing to see it, that that's what I'm doing, then that's how they choose to receive the message. I'm simply just speaking my mind, giving my opinions, just like anyone else is entitled to do that. I don't tell people, hey, you should think like me or believe, see it like me. No, I only come and spit how I see it. However people choose to receive the messages on there. The world is being more... Gangs were supposed to be for positive, but the elite influenced it. It wasn't the elite that influenced it. Nah, it was man's own selfish greed. You know what I mean? You give any man, a little bit of power, a little bit of influence, and it's gonna go straight to their head. It's gonna corrupt. You've seen it happen time after time. Where's the evidence? Thousands of years of history, bro. Thousands of years of history. You get people, power, you know what I mean? Muscle. And what happens? They abuse it. Time after time after time again. Has it not happened throughout history? Naturally, it corrupts because naturally humans want to look after their own self-interest. Now, I'm not saying everyone, but a majority of them, 9 times out of 10, that's what ends up happening. I'm Rasa, and I include everyone in Rasa, north side, south side. Yeah, that's good, but not everyone sees it like you. There's some people that don't want these people part of their movement or anything to do with, these cholos. But yeah, they're the saints. They're the good guys and go to church and everything. How that works, I have no idea. You know, especially people that go to church is like, like man, that's a whole lot of hate in your heart for someone that preaches the word of God. You know, doesn't your Lord forgive everyone and every? You know what I mean? That repent. No, not this motherfucker. This guy right here, he's never gonna change. He may be saying that right now, but trust me, I know. Like that's a whole lot of hatred coming from somebody that preaches the word of God. And it'd be them very same individuals I'd be tripping out on, like how could this person preach all this shit and be talking all this shit and not see, you know, not see the contradiction? But okay. But because no one's gonna want to see the flaws in themselves, you know what I mean? Because there's people out there that naturally believe because they don't belong to a street gang or they're not a criminal that they're good. When you damn well know that there's people out there who are not gang members, who never committed a crime, who are horrible people, you know what I mean? Who are bitter, arrogant, mean people, you know what I'm saying? But since they feel like, you know, well, I never joined the gang, then that automatically makes you better now. Like, oh, yeah, this guy right here. Shit. I remember one of the times that I seen this, you know, in a magnitude is when the pandemic first hit and I was seeing these people going to the supermarket. I see, you know, gang members giving people, you know, water, toilet paper because other people were taking a lot and wouldn't give it up. Like, no. And these fools, you know, had some and they'll be like, hey, here, you know, they shot it and stuff like that. I was seeing people do that shit. Homies, I mean. While these people who are the good people, you know, are over here fighting for cans and they have like 30 packs of toilet paper. Well, what do you need more toilet paper for? But they're the good guys, you know what I mean? They're the, you know, good civilians. And it's like you gotta look at individuals, you know what I mean? You gotta see for what it is, not going based on just what everyone else has been telling you and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that these people are fucking saints and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But what I'm saying is they're not like how people portray them to be, you know what I mean? Are they bad people? Yes, you know what I mean? Are they dangerous? Yes, you know what I mean? Is the lifestyle, you know, waste of time and throw your life? Yes, all of that is true. But you have to understand of why individuals became this way in order to fix the problem. You know what I mean? You know, because people just don't wake up and choosing to be a certain way. You know what I mean? With time going, they slowly became this way, you know, and for a reason, because everything happens for a reason. Nothing just happens just because they just woke up one day and they're like, yep, I think I'm going to make my family's life a living hell and cause chaos out there. That's not how it happened. But people speak about it like if that is how it happened. And they talk about it like if they're 100% sure that that's what happened. And then when you tell them the truth, they don't want to accept it. No, he's lying. Like, bro, this shit's documented from gangs in China, Russia, Iraq, Libya, Taiwan, to, you know, everywhere, bro. The United States, to everywhere. Gangs exist in Asia, in the Middle Eastern, in Russia. Street gangs exist throughout the world. In different times before there was even internet and shit like that. So people didn't even have no knowledge of each other. You know, these gangs didn't know that the gangs over here existed and vice versa. But yeah, they were sprouting all throughout the world. And these gangs is not something that's new or modern. This shit has been existing since even back then. You know what I mean? It was just different. They were seen as, you know, and called different things like crusades and stuff like that. Like the knights, for the ones that would defy Caesar, and they had their own group with nicknames and their own, you know, flags that they would wave when they would go and pillage villages and stuff like that. Because, you know, they didn't want to follow the law and stuff like that. Those were gangs because they would mark territories. You would have to pay a fee going through the territory. Essentially gangs. You know, and they evolved as time went by. So this is not a new, you know, a problem that's new. You know what I mean? Problem has existed since forever. And like I said, you know, in different places with no, you know, they're not aware of each other. You get what I mean? And when all these problems have been documented, and when you read the documents of all these gang members from different parts of the world, from different time periods, you see the common pattern in why they became the way they became. Yet nobody accepts that as the answer. They're been looking for years. You have had the answer the whole entire time, but it's the answer that's that hard pill to swallow that you don't want to accept this as the answer, that you choose to go and look for different things. It's the area, it's this, it's that. They change all this and that, and it doesn't fix shit. You get what I'm saying? Because you have the truth, you just don't want to accept it. Looking in that mirror, bro, I know it's hard. How you think because you don't belong to the street organization that you're perfect? You can't be a part of the problem. Hell no, it can't be you. Can it? Be a better parent. Guarantee you, if you be a better parent and you have a bond and communication with your child, then your child won't need, have the need to go and join a street gang. You get what I mean? So your kids don't join street gangs because they don't, they have a bond with your connection. So they don't need to go look for the bond somewhere else. So now these kids don't want to be gang members. What happens to the gangs that are already existing now? What happens to all humans? They get old. Don't they get old? They get old. So these people get old, they retire or they die, because that's how it is for humans. So they get old and they die. And now if these kids don't want to become gang members no more, so now these people don't have nobody to recruit. So what happens to the gangs when they don't have no one to recruit and all their members are old now? It dies out. Because they have no one to recruit, no one to keep it going. Because you chose to step up and be a parent. But when you refuse to step up and be a parent and you choose to not care about what your kid is doing and you just leave them out there for the streets, but then you want to blame the streets and, and these individuals. They didn't go into your house and take your fucking kid. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because when people look at it, all the homies that are gang members, a majority of the homies that are gang members, our parents are not gang related. They're not gang members. Now, homies who have kids, their kids, 9 times out of 10, don't end up becoming gang members. You know what I mean? Those are the facts. Now, you do have some rare cases, like in my case and certain individuals, where they do. But more than not, they don't end up becoming a part of the streets. You get what I'm saying? So they must be doing something right. They must know what they're talking about. They must be doing something different than their parents. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, homies' parents weren't gang related. People know what I'm talking about. They see these senoras and stuff like that. They don't have no gang ties and stuff like that. You know what I mean? As a child, you think that you do whatever you want. But if you have a bond in a relationship with your parents, and your parents, wouldn't want this and that, you're not going to break that bond because you know that you don't want to upset them and you know that they wouldn't see it right and everything like that when there's communication. But when there's no communication and no bond, then you can care less what happens. You know what I mean? Because clothing you and feeding you is not being a parent, bro. It's not being a parent. Your parents, like when they say, my parents, my mom was a stay-at-home. She ran the household, and my dad worked 2 jobs. So that makes them good parents. That doesn't make them good parents, bro. That's neglection. Who the hell is raising you? Do they pay interest in you? Do they tell you how's your day? Do they tell you, what are your hobbies? Who are your friends? What do you like doing? Hang out with you, spend time with you, creating this, whether they're in your performances in school, whatever. That is very important to a child, bro. When you don't display those behaviors to a child, he feels like you don't care. He feels like it's not important what he's saying, especially if when you are home, all you're doing is watching TV or drinking with your friends. I mean, you know what I mean? It's very important, bro. It's crucial. You get what I'm saying? Because then they think, this, and that. As you're seeing it from an adult's perspective, you're able to see, it's because they cared and I was just being dumb. Yes, because you're looking at it from the sense of an adult, with common sense. But remember, a child doesn't have common sense. A child's mentality is different from an adult's mentality. As a matter of fact, that part of the brain doesn't develop until you're 21. Those are the facts. You could go look up the research yourself if you doubt what I'm saying. That's why the legal age of drinking and all that is 21. Because then that's when people feel like you're more aware and conscious of the decisions you make and stuff like that. That's why the legal age is that. You know what I mean? They just didn't guess that number and pull it out of their asses. It's because that's the research, what it shows. You get what I mean? But like I said, these individuals end up becoming a part of the streets, right, coincidence, right at the age of puberty. Because at the age of puberty, you're dealing with new emotions, your new thoughts, your mind is wandering. And that's why teenagers over-exaggerate about everything. 1 minute they want to marry a girl, the next minute their life's going to shit. And if you don't buy them this, it's the end of the world. They over-exaggerate about everything, blow everything out of proportion. You don't buy them something, why do you hate me so much and stuff like that. So imagine now you don't pay attention to the kid and stuff like that, and you're neglecting him, and he's going to school, and his friends are talking about how great time they spent with their dads and what they will, and this kid's wondering what the hell's going on with his situation. And worse if there's, it's a chaotic household, you know what I mean? And the kid is just right there, no lo pelan, and their solution is go out there and play. And now, what happens when you leave a bunch of kids unattended? What happens? Don't they do things they're not supposed to be doing? In the 90s and 80s, bro, these people were leaving their kids unattended out there in the streets for about 6 hours, 7 hours without even checking up on them. What do you think was going to happen? Leave a bunch of kids unattended, bro. That's why people nowadays, when they have their kids, they don't leave their kids unattended. That's why they pay attention to the kids' interests and stuff like that. And they want to know where they're at and what they will. Not like these parents were doing before. They weren't doing none of that. Like I'm saying, I'm not saying that they're bad people or they're bad parents or they did it intentionally. You know what I mean? New country, new way of things working and stuff like that. You know what I mean? This whole machista way of running stuff is not the best way of raising a kid. You know what I mean? And even coming from our homeland, that's why you see a lot of people in Mexico. I mean, they end up becoming cartel members, and you see the, society over there, is chaotic. Because this whole not showing them love and this whole toughness is not the best way to raise a child. It has been proven time after time after time that creates a destructive personality disorder. I mean, you can argue with the science. You don't got to take my word for it. Like I said, I'm not saying that they did it intentionally. They probably had their own battles and demons that they were dealing with. And a lot of households, the father figure wasn't even there, in a lot of the cases. And just mom just not being able to cope with it all. You get what I'm saying? There's a way of, of going about it as long as you bring some reassurance to your child. You may work 2 jobs, whatever, and you may not see them. As long as you're at home, when you are at home, you do give them that time. And as long as you bring them reassurance of everything, of why you can't be there and why this is and that, even though they know already, you're probably like, no, what they know is because I have to work. Yes, but it helps to just bring them some reassurance, just to reassure them that that's the case. Because like I said, when they hit that age, their mind just starts wandering. They start questioning, is it that or is it this? You know what I'm saying? So you just want to make sure you put their mind at ease, Because when there's no bond there, they just go look for the bond somewhere else. It's not about teaching, you know what I mean? It's just literally about like being there for somebody, you know what I mean? Just telling them that you love them and that, and being supportive of their activities, you know what I mean? Not saying like negative activities, because like I said, once you build that bond, they won't have the need to go and look for those activities, you know what I mean? For my research, for my class, one of the things that I had seen and I had did in the block, right? It's the ghettos. It's the chaotic scene. You see gang members on the corner, and it's the hood, right? But if you notice, not all the kids in that block end up becoming gang members, right? So if people saying that it's these guys that influence these kids and corrupt these kids, then why didn't all of those kids become gang members? If that's the case, right? If that's what it is, that these individuals are there and present, and these people are seeing it, that that's what creates them, then why didn't all the kids in that area became gang members then? But you see, it's only certain of them did, not all of them. And then when I talk to the ones that grew up on the block where I did, and I tell them, hey, how was your childhood? And then they were telling me, and then I go and I tell the homies that, are gang members, hey, how was your childhood? And I see the big ass difference, bro. The big ass difference, And 9 times out of 10, all the ones that didn't become, a part of the streets, almost all their childhoods were about the same. They had some bonding time with their families, some not much because their parents worked, but they were still talking. They were still able to talk to their parents, come with their problems and stuff like that. While these individuals, really didn't have no father figures, or they had both figures, but they weren't able to tell them a goddamn thing. Like, no sé, estoy ocupado ahorita, pendejo, que no miras que, no sé, vete para allá ahorita. And it's like, okay, then it becomes to a point where you just even bother, like, why even going and asking them anything, you know what I mean? Like, they're just gonna mandarte a la verga. And getting called pendejo, baboso, estúpido, that doesn't help either, bro. Those are words a child should never hear come out of their parents' mouth about them. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The last thing you want to be told by the people that you love and look up to is, that you're worthless and good for nothing, because that creates, that damages a child, because people just look at these gang members, they just think about them, from the age that they look at them now, like, oh, this was in his 20s, whatever. Understand, when they became these gang members, they were just these 12, 13. And once these individuals start changing or start, bettering themselves, it's roughly around the age of 21. When you look at that, right about the time where the common sense, that part of the brain develops. You know what I mean? That's why people tend to do a lot more stupid shit when they're younger than when they're older, because people have done dumb stuff. Not saying that, like, oh my God, dumb stuff, but they had done dumb stuff when they were younger, or made stupid decisions when they were younger than when they're older. There's a reason for that. It's not that, oh my God, you figured it out. That's why, as an adult, you have more common sense than when you're a child. It's not the same mentality. You don't have that. That's why kids think that they know everything, That part of the brain hasn't developed, so it's not able to, control those outbursts of the testosterone level that they have, that, boosts their egos. That way, that's why you have them thinking that they know everything and stuff like that. Or they have everything in the bag. But, I mean, that's just like through the research and stuff. I know that people just see me as this stupid, dumb gang member and stuff like that. Like, este güey que vas a ver. You know what I mean? But I do study human behavior and psychology, and like, is understanding the mental behind individuals. Like I said, there's always a reason why people became a certain way or display, certain behaviors. I normally don't like turning my channel into like lessons, and like I feel like I'm like a teacher that's just boring the shit out of everybody. I mean, it interests me, you know what I mean? It fascinates me, of, how events could literally paint and trigger somebody's behavior, forward when they're a child, you know what I mean? It's crazy. The brain is the most powerful and sensitive thing, that we own, That's why I say, watch how you raise these kids, because how you treat them literally is going to paint their whole entire, future forward, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. Well, I already been here, long enough, and I'm pretty sure you guys are tired of me lecturing you guys, so we out.